To finance now, and a deal worth almost $100 billion has been announced in the world of gaming. Here's business reporter Chris Kohler.
Activision Blizzard. That's the name of the company that Microsoft is buying for the equivalent of almost 100 billion Australian dollars. It makes the video games Call of Duty and World of Warcraft, two of the biggest and most lucrative games of all time. And the deal means those two and all the other Activision games will go to Microsoft's Xbox, making Sony PlayStation owners nervous they might have to go without. And at $95 billion, that means it's worth more than Telstra and Woolworths combined. That huge deal was the talk of Wall Street, but investors weren't sure. Microsoft shares dropped on it in what was a bad session for the US markets. Here in Australia, it was a similar story. The ASX fell a sharp 1%, with Macquarie and CBA among the worst big stocks, while oil companies continue to lift on commodity price gains. And the Aussie dollar was mostly higher today, but it's quite a bit lower for the week. It's buying 71 US cents, 63 euro cents and 52 British pence.
Thank you, Chris. It's time for the weather now. Here's Jessica.
Thanks, Kate. Yes, the beach is the place to be tonight at Grange for the picnics and the kids and the families. Everyone is having a great time down here, and it's hard not to with weather this good. It was almost 30 degrees in the city. Right now it's around 28 degrees. So across the suburbs earlier this morning it was really windy overnight, particularly around the foothills and the southern coastal areas, but it calmed down. We ended up settling to 30 degrees at Glenelg and 28 at Noarlunga. So that rain up north has pretty much disappeared for now at least, and most SA towns lapped up dry and sunny weather today. Whyalla 27 and Port Pirie 35. It was warm in the southeast with 34 at Naracoorte, but cooler around Kingscote and Victor Harbour with 23. On the charts, most of SA in the clear tomorrow, but if you just see that trough floating in, it could trigger some more rain and storms in our north and west during the afternoon. Victoria is looking pretty good though. It should be sunny and dry in Melbourne for the tennis. Perth, another scorcher, 39 degrees there tomorrow. For us, well, if we're talking storms, we'd want to watch places like Ceduna, looking humid there, heavy falls possible. But further east, it's basically just a hot and sunny day. Port Pirie 36, Clare 32, Port Lincoln, half a chance of a splash tomorrow, but pretty much from Nuriutpa down to Mount Gambier, it is looking dry and sunny with a few hot ones in there. Murray Bridge 36 and Keith 35. Warnings for fires and floods on the same day in SA tomorrow. We've got elevated winds and that heat, so total fire bans for 3 districts, including the Mount Lofty Ranges. And then further north, the Bureau's issued an initial flood watch with that rain coming in, 4-day totals of around 120 millimetres possible there, so we're watching for road closures. And still 3 marine wind warnings left over, including the lower southeast coast. It'll be more settled on local waters tomorrow, 15 knots before dawn and seas below a metre, and we are ramping up the heat across our city. Elizabeth headed for 36, Marion 35 and Outer Harbour 34. Staying dry with a top of 35 degrees on the way for you in the city. We've also got a dry 35 degrees on Friday. There are storms coming, but they've slowed down a little bit. So at this stage, Saturday looks warm and dry, and then the storms will probably arrive on Sunday. So Sunday, quite humid, muggy. You might get some really heavy rain if you're right underneath a storm, or you might get nothing at all. They're really tricky to predict. And then the beginning of next week looking warm and humid as well. But Kate will be keeping a very close eye on that stormy forecast for you for the weekend.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jessica. And that is the latest from the 9 Newsroom. Thanks for your company. Stay with us now as we head back to Melbourne Park and night 3 of the Australian Open. Good night.